Hello there guys and girls, this is the Bush Prince with another Ro4 tournament video, and this is going to be Duck versus Panda Warrior semifinals of the Team Dignitas Ro4 tournament, Invitational that is. And we have Duck playing as Tylus on Armavir against the Panda Warriors Rome. I'm gonna put it on slow motion and go over the builds of both players, as builds are quite important in this game. Anyway, let's see, what does Duck have? He has 2 Celtic warriors on his right flank, supporting 2 Thracian warriors. Then he has 2 Celtic warriors on his far left, and 2 Thracian warriors in the forest, hidden for a while. And of course we have the standard 3 raiding horsemen, because of 3 missile cap max. In terms of his general, he has a strategist Ro4 general, pretty standard stuff as well. Then we have, what do we have? We have 6 tribal warriors and an Ro4 over here. Interestingly enough, he doesn't decide to put it more in the center, but actually he's overloading his right flank, which might be good because he wants this hilly position, right? Now for Panda Warrior, let's see what he has. He has 2 Balearic Slingers and a main line of what seems to be like 3, 4, 5 Hastati, with a few legionary cohorts over here. I guess 6 legionary cohorts might be okay. 6 Hastati and probably 6 legionary cohorts, or actually, is it 5 legionary cohorts and 2 Evocatis, I think. No, an Evocati and a veteran legionary. My bad. And then he has his Legatus, who is a commander general, and of course we have an Equites and a saucy Equites for Panda Warrior. On his right flank though, he does have 2 saucy Equites hidden in the forest. Actually, they're not too hidden. They're not in the forest over here. And they're not actually using... I mean, there is no line of sight blockers, so they can actually be seen. But let's hit play and see the match unfold. Or rather, the game. So we can currently see that, well, Duck has the advantage in this game, as he's the one who picked Armavir, and the attacker has an advantage on Armavir because he has a downhill charge bonus. I mean, I keep saying this, and other commentators as well, and it's pretty damn important, and it makes it really hard for the defender to win here unless he camps the forest or like really goes back a lot, pulls back a lot or something. And I mean, the attacker can also much easier, I mean, he can much more easily achieve this hill point here, as well as this one here, so as he's much closer to them than the defender. So overall this map is quite unbalanced, and it favors the attacker a lot, considering how the map is designed, at least for this attacker direction. But we can now see Duck is actually going to be moving up his tribal warriors. In fact, he is running them instead of walking them in. There's no need to run them right now, I think. I would personally walk them, because I don't need to make them tired, right? Like, you're moving into the forest. I mean, you're not really going for like a position for like that's super important right now. You're just, because look, the Roman infantry, there's no way he's gonna be able to get to the hill. You don't really need to run at this point. It's just a small thing, like he's tiring out his troops a little bit more than it is actually necessary. We do have Duck though skirmishing with raiding horsemen against saucy Equites. Good move here by Panda Warrior. He is making sure that his saucy Equites are as wide as possible, so they take as little damage from raiding horsemen as possible. So yeah, we will have Panda Warrior, who he wants to actually sit over here, because this is where he does have a small downhill advantage, like this patch of terrain over here. This is pretty good for Panda Warrior here. And this is one of the only areas where he actually has downhill advantage over Duck. But I wonder if this will actually be enough for Duck, for Panda Warrior, considering he's up against Tylus, and Tylus is really strong in melee. Like, those tribals will do so well against Hastati and legionary cohorts. I mean, really, the only ones that can pretty much do really well against them would be Evocatis. So we'll see how Panda Warrior decides to play this. because it is really going to be difficult for Panda Warrior to pull off a win. But he might be able to do it here. Again, going to be really hard. We can see Duck moving. His old sword is now all the way on his right flank. Finally, he's starting to walk his troops because he doesn't want them to be tired. And he should just be walking them downhill and going to face Panda, I think. Yeah, this Hastani main line for Panda, like the first line, it's gonna be pretty good for throwing jabs and stopping the charge of the really strong tribal warriors, and then following up with his legionary cohorts and evocadis. Like, that's a pretty effective way to deal with Tylus, at least tribal warriors. But the problem will be for Panda is, what if Tylus decides to flank around? Because he has flanking Thracian warriors, he has Celtic warriors that he can use on the flanks if he so desires. And currently we have Celtic warriors in the back lines for Duck. Not quite sure why he's doing it like that, because I would personally like match up the Celtic warriors against the Hastati. Because if you charge the Hastati with Celtic warriors, the Hastati are just going to get destroyed, and it's going to be a very cost efficient trade for you as Tylus. Whereas if you charge in the tribal warriors into the Hastati, the tribal warriors will the tribal warriors, yeah, they will destroy Hastati pretty quickly, but then they will not have a charge bonus. They would have already taken some HP damage from the Hastati, and then the legionary cohorts and evocadis and veteran legionaries and whatever the Roman player has simply be able to. Oh, my bad. Engagements are starting over here. I fast forwarded a bit too quickly, but yeah, you can see over here that the raiding horsemen are getting destroyed by Saucy Equitas. This is a bad move by Duck, actually. He only got 3 kills with raiding horsemen. But here, though, we have a charge into the Thracian warriors into the forest. And this is a forest. You don't want to do this against Thracian warriors in the forest, because look at them. Yeah, they're dropping quickly, but so is the Cav. They're like really strong glass cannon unit against Cav. Yeah, they'll take lots of damage on the charge, but they'll also kill a lot of Cav. And look at them just mauling the cavalry units of Rome. Like, look at those Saucy Equitas. 53 kills on the Thracian warriors. Basically, they have already paid for themselves. This one unit also has 4 kills, so this is some really nice stuff by Duck here with the 2 Thracian warriors. Again, really nice damage dealt here by those raiding horsemen onto the Saucy Equitas. They haven't really lost much, like 9 on that unit and like nothing on that unit. You can see Thracian warriors. He actually wants to engage the Saucy Equitas over here. Is he going to clip them? Nope. Panda does pull away, and we have a mainline engagement soon. And look at Duck. He's gonna have a nice position here with the Thracian warriors. Gonna have a downhill advantage on Panda Warrior, and Panda Warrior is going to choose to pull back his forces. But he no longer has like a huge line. I think he just selected all his units and quickly moved them back, and this is going to really affect his formation, and badly, I would say. But yeah, you have the Thracian warriors over here. I think Panda Warrior might actually want to engage them. Thracian warriors don't get a charge against the Equitas, so nice charge by Equitas, but they will still lose a few men in pulling out. But they're pulling out a little bit slowly, and they lost 7 men, so these Thracian warriors have been so cost effective. They're making Panda pull so many units over to his right flank as well. Look at Panda, like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna cost efficiently take out these 4 units and then just pull back my main line to like a superior position than Duck, because I don't think I can win main engagement. At least that's what I think he's thinking. And indeed, he's gonna kill this Thracian warrior, but not before it's cost effective, and not before the raiding horsemen get some kills on these Equitas and absolutely destroy them. So I think this is not a cost effective trade for Panda at all. Like, Duck's gonna be really happy about just losing. I mean, alright, he's gonna lose his Thracian warriors, he's gonna lose probably his raiding horsemen, but here's the thing. These Thracian warriors, I mean, if they kill Cav, like, they've already done their job, because then Tylus can win the main infantry engagement. I mean, Rome without cavalry will not really be able to beat Tylus, I think. Anyway. But yeah, we have legionary cohorts here. It's gonna be a nice charge by them. They're gonna destroy the Thracian warriors. I think this is how you should be using, how you should be getting rid of Thracian warriors. If you attack them frontally, it's gonna be really good for the unit facing the Thracian warriors, because the Thracian warriors, they're really useful on the flanks against cavalry, well, for rear charging, and wow, devastating javelins by the legionary cohorts. Really nice stuff here by Panda. Like, look, he barely lost anything against that Thracian warrior. That is how you're supposed to use how destroy Thracian warriors, I think. Not with cav, but rather with swords. So, I think anyway, unless you have like 4 cav surrounding the Thracian warrior, then you can absolutely destroy it. Or with like cataphracts, I guess. So yeah, Sociequidus will actually lose here to the Thracian warrior, and he's gonna pull him out, and again, not the best move, but you see Duck here is actually cutting off the Roman troops, but Duck's units are actually winded compared to, and he's actually gonna continue running his units. So look, Rome's units are active, Duck's units are winded. And this Sociequidus unit is gonna get caught. Nice charge by the raiding horseman into it. It's gonna rout it, especially with Thracian warrior support. Those 2 Thracian warriors have basically killed them, like what, 2 full cavalry units? So definitely worth it for the Thracians, I think, anyway. Now we have Duck moving up, 2 Thracian warriors on his right flank. So again, these guys are really strong cavalry killers and flanking units as well. Like, when you rear charge with them, yeah, like, they're not going to be taking as much damage because the unit they're fighting against isn't facing them. But they're going to do so much damage on their own, since just look at that melee attack and that weapon damage. Like, it's insane compared to their armor, which is crap, and their melee defense, also crap. But they have really good melee attack and weapon damage. So, as units that are attacking the rear of the enemy or the flank, they really excel at that, as long as they don't get shot at as well. And here we have raiding horsemen that are gonna probably, yeah, the left side of the unit is going to get into the Balearics and do a lot of damage to the Balearics here, at least stop them from firing. Not sure if this is gonna be worth it though. He does indeed stop the Legatus, and now he does get a free charge onto these legionary cohorts. It's not really gonna be doing too much damage to the legionary cohorts. I think Duck should have waited a little bit while longer so that he can get the better charge off with the Celtic warriors. Like, done it a little bit later, but I guess maybe he wanted to do it so that he stops Panda Warrior from running away. That was probably his plan, but look at his units, winded compared to active, and now pandas are actually resting. And look, that cavalry unit is dead. But now we're gonna have some nice charges into the rear of the Avocatis. And look, the Avocatis facing the wrong way and getting charged in the rear by Celtic warriors. That is massive. The Avocati cohort is the best unit that Panda Warrior has in melee. Also some jabs into the rear of the Celtics, but here come the Celtics, their own jabs against the legionary cohorts. So far I feel like this is a really good engagement for Duck with his Stylus build. And here comes the Ossorn General against the legionary cohorts. Of course, these tribal warriors, yeah, this is gonna be an engagement that Panda will win. Legionary cohorts and his side against tribal warriors, I think. But the thing is, it's gonna take so long, and you have another tribal warrior coming around here. There's also a gap which can be filled by more tribals and more Celtic warriors. You have here this Ossorn that, just look at it, it's using Battle Rhythm and Headhunt. It's just going to do so much damage and destroy this legionary cohort. We have a flanking Celtic warrior unit for Duck that basically there's nothing that can be used against it. We have tribal warriors charging into the main line of Hastati. The Hastati are going to die very quickly to the tribals here. But we see Panda Warrior, he's going to support them with legionary cohorts, and this is a free jabs, some free jabs on the unshielded side of the tribal warriors. Very good stuff, and no real charge bonus for Duck. Actually, he does get kind of a charge bonus, but not the best charge bonus. Now he's gonna go around with 2 Thracian warriors, and this Celtic warrior is going to fall because obviously it's against legionary cohorts, so that's not gonna be a very good engagement for him. But we see second wind being popped on the Ossorn General. It's already destroyed this legionary cohort. And we have another Celtic warrior that's going to be flanking the Avocati. The Avocati has lost so many men. And yeah, of course it's killed like a Celtic warrior, but that's not really cost effective. It just died to javelins. That was really bad and really important in this battle. So we do have some nice charges into the Celtic warriors. This is really effective. You should absolutely, when you see Celtic warriors, you should absolutely charge them with cavalry. There's no harm in doing that, really, because they're not as armored as, say, like the better, as like tribal warriors, so they're gonna take a lot of damage on the charge from heavy cavalry. But you can see that actually the Tylean left flank is starting to fall right now. And the Oathsworn is taking massive damage from Balearic Slingers, so this is a very good job here by Panda Warrior. He's keeping this Evocati, just pinning down the Oathsworn while his Slingers are doing the work against Oathsworns. I think charging in his Equitus and Legatus is unnecessary here. Should be just focusing Slinger Fire onto them. So I really think it's unnecessary. I guess he needs to make sure that his Legatus and Equitus are alright instead of doing that. But maybe he wants to pin down the general unit, but I don't think that's a good idea. And we have the Celtic Warriors falling over here, but look at this flank by Duck. He's crushing those Hastati, crushing this Veteran Legionary with Thracian Warriors. And I mean, there, of course, Thracian Warriors in prolonged frontal engagements against Veteran Legionaries will lose, but there will be some flanking units that Duck is going to be able to send. More Thracian Warriors pouring into the fight here against Veteran Legionaries. And you can see Veteran Legionaries crush through one of the Thracians, but there are now more units that Duck's gonna send around. Look, this is a very nice move. Flanking this Veteran Legionary, sending another Thracian Warrior around. And then we have, oh, nice jabs into the Hastati backline, but look at Duck's left flank, it has fallen. And that's really big for this game, but it's all now going to come down to the Oathsworns. And some really nice volleys from the Slingers here. Look at them crushing this Oathsworn. But there's a Thracian Warrior over here, which should get focused now. There he goes, he's gonna start focusing it, because the Slingers will maul this Thracian Warrior unit, because look at it, it doesn't really have much protection against arrows or missile fire. Like, it's just gonna start dying with just 30 armor. It's not a lot. But yeah, Tylus, look, this tribal warrior is going to fall with only 82 kills. Oathsworns though are in very good shape, and there aren't no Evocatis left, I think, or yeah, we have one Veteran Legionary, but these Legionary cohorts will not be able to do too much against Oathsworns, especially with some tribal support and another tribal warrior. So while this currently doesn't look bad for Rome at all, oh, wasted jabs here by Duck. While this isn't looking bad for Rome at all, and even though there are some nice, like he has some nice morale penalties on the barbarians since the general is gone. The thing is that these are Hastati units. And the Legionary cohort, yeah, it's gonna try and come around and support this one Legionary cohort. But how is... I mean, this is gonna be close for sure, and it already is close. But again, he's focusing... Yeah, he's trying to kill the Oathsworn, but he should be focusing on this one Thracian warrior, I think. Or I guess he thinks that this Legionary cohort can handle the Thracian warrior. Not the best charge against the Thracian warriors. And his Veteran Legionaries will die to tribals and more tribals, so this engagement here by Duck is going to be quite well. Oh, and nice jabs into the Equites. That's going to be the last cavalry unit for Panda Warrior out of the field. And they're actually going to try and charge into the Oathsworns, doing quite a bit of damage, surprisingly. But then they just knocked down a few of them and killed them. I think they might actually go up. No, they won't. Some of them actually went up, but he lost quite a few of them to that Equites unit, surprisingly. Equites with 105 kills. Very good stuff here by Panda. But now he's gonna rout this one Thracian warrior, but here's the problem. Oh, we have a tribal warrior that's not moving here for Duck. Quite strange. Yeah, this Oathsworn is gonna get kited to death by Balearics. But, oh wait, they're actually engaging in melee. Are they out of ammo? They might, because they have so many kills. Like, over 100 kills on one of them. Just look at them, they're targeting this one tribal warrior, but in the process he might actually kill his own general. And like, sure, this Legionary cohort is gonna hold out against this tribal for a while, but we have tribal warriors here that are gonna be doing a lot of damage to this Legionary cohort. Nice hammer and anvil with the Legatus, but really there's no anvil anymore here because the Legionary cohort is gone off the field. Legatus is running away, and again Legionary cohorts might be able to do quite well against the tribals here. Well, actually no, because they're 33 against 40. So Legionary cohorts should end up losing that engagement. Tribal warriors here got routed, but Legatus is down to 4 men. Still wasting ammo on that one unit. And just look, Oathsworn caught up to the Balearic Slingers and is going to chase them off the field. This is the last sword unit of Rome and is now routed off the field. Poor Roman is now on the ground as Tylus and Duck wins game number 1 and is up 1-0 in this best of 3 with Tylus against Rome. As you can see here, raiding horsemen were not really as effective as they could have been. Like you can see, one of them just got caught by a saucy Equitus and died instantly. That was a micro mistake by Duck, which actually could have really hampered his army. But you can see his 2 Oathsworns just wrecked the Roman infantry lines. Sure, the Celtic warriors didn't get many kills, but a lot of those kills are like on Evocatis or veteran legionaries, so they're quite important kills because I mean, tribals will do really well against Hastati and legionary cohorts, but against Evocati and veterans, they will have some trouble, and they might even lose to Evocatis, depending on how the engagement goes. So we have again lots of kills on the Thracian warriors. Thracian warriors did insanely well in this battle, I would say, and then the tribals also did massively well. At least a few of them, they got a lot of kills. Again, they hold while the Celtic warriors flank, and the Thracian warriors as well, while the Oathsworns do the killing. I mean, yeah, basically the Oathsworns, the Thracian warriors, and the Celtic warriors are the killers because they flank. Well, the Oathsworns don't really flank, they engage frontally mostly, but just look at how much damage they did. As for the Romans, look, Legatus with 103 kills, that's a hero Legatus right there. Equitus 105 kills, Saucy Equitus getting some kills, but I mean, the thing is he killed Thracian warriors, which is not very effective. I mean, if those were like, I don't know, it's companion cav, 35 kills against companion cav, that would have been really good. But it's not companion cav. It's like just crappy, well, not crappy, but really cheap Thracian warriors. And Thracian warriors, their only purpose this game was to flank or kill the cavalry. And killing the cavalry with Thracian warriors, that's good enough, I think. You can see the Balearic Slingers, they did a lot of work, especially on the Oathsworn General of Duck. So that was a really good move by Panda to move his Slingers over to the flank where Duck has his Oathsworn General. And he killed so many of the Oathsworns with those 2 Balearics. That was really impressive. And of course you have his Evocatis and veteran legionaries. Surprisingly getting a lot of kills despite the Evocatis getting rear charged and getting like, what, 2 sets of jabs thrown into them. That was quite devastating. Again, the Hastati not really doing much. They got destroyed by tribals and Celtics. Legionary cohorts, some of them got a surprising amount of kills. Must have been against like Thracian warriors or Celtic warriors. But yeah, that is game 1. I shall see you in game 2 of this best of 3. This is game 2. Duck versus Panda Warrior in the semifinals of the Team Dignitas Rome 2 tournament. We have here Panda Warrior playing as Galatia and Duck, the boy, again on Armabear. And this time around though, it's gonna be I mean, it's gonna be better for Panda Warrior since it has a pretty decent position on since he's the attacker. I mean, look, he's already able to move up this hill and has a downhill advantage. But anyway, let me go over the builds of both players. So we have well, I can't really go over Panda Warrior's build actually. I'm just gonna go over the Boy build. We have Duck bringing Strategist, Oathsworn General. Then we have, interestingly enough, no cavalry. This is a pretty big risk by Duck not to bring any cavalry, I think. We have 4 Levy Freemen, then 3 Celtic Warriors on his left flank, and wow, what is this? Oh, 5? Only 5 sword followers, interestingly enough. Only 5 of them. Quite a strange choice, but he does have 2 Oathsworns, so they're really strong. Is that true? No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he does have 6 sword followers and 3 Oathsworn, if you count his general. So that's 9 really powerful melee infantry units that Duck has. But he does have 4 Celtic bowmen as well. Again, an interesting choice. What are Celtic bowmen going to do? Like, what is his plan with the Celtic bowmen? What does he want to kill? Okay, one thing he can do with Celtic bowmen is try and kill Syrian archers. But here's the thing, Syrian archers are really well armored, so they will not really be able to do too well against them, I feel. And yeah, he can do lots of damage to Noble Horse and Cappadocian Cav, but if he gets the proper angling, but it's just going to be so difficult to use those Celtic bowmen that I think you're better off just not bringing them and bringing Cav instead. Or something, I don't know. Anyway. I am going to go over... Wow, is this really 6 Levy Freemen? I don't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4. Anyway, we do have the engagement starting. Actually, Duck is in the forest, so this isn't too bad for him, but some of his units aren't. So the ones that aren't in the forest will take extra damage from the Syrian archers. So this is a decent engagement for Panda right now. But let me go over Panda's build. So he has a Noble Horse General. He is a commander. This time around he has a flanking Galatian sword on the right. Then he has a Levy Freeman over here. Another Levy Freeman, so basically 2 Levy Freemen. Make that 3 Levy Freemen apparently. Another nice volley into those bowmen that were actually trying to destroy the Cappadocians and the horse skirmishers. So good job here by Panda Warrior using the angles against Duck. Look at these Celtic bowmen just getting crushed as Duck is mismicroing them heavily here. And yeah, I'm gonna go over the main line of Panda Warrior. Actually, not yet. So yeah, he does have at least 1 horse skirmisher and 2 mercenary Cappadocian Cav, that's for sure. And then he has, let's see, his main line. So it's actually mixing in Galatian swords here and there with Galatian legionaries, interestingly enough. So he does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Galatian legionaries, standard stuff. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Galatian swords, I guess, if you count that one. Oh, that would be 5 Galatian swords, actually. We might have 6 in total. We'll see about that. Then we have Syrian archers doing lots of damage to this Celtic bowman. He did lose 1 Syrian archer though, but he still has the other that can do massive amounts of damage to the units of Duck, especially the Oathsworns. But I guess I can see what Duck planned to do with this. So he feels like if he deals with the Syrian archers that Panda Warrior has, his huge infantry component with 3 Oathsworns, 6 followers, and 6 sword followers, he feels like that will do insane amounts of work, especially if you include the 3 Celtic warriors. So theoretically speaking, I mean, even with the Levy Freeman jabs, theoretically this build might work very well. But in practice, I don't think it would. because where's your cavalry? Cavalry is really good, and without cavalry, like, heavy horse are just so good for boy. I still feel like this is a huge gamble taken by Duck. His bowmen actually get shot again by Syrian archers. Look at the Syrians. Already quite effective. But I mean, if Duck got rid of both Syrian archers, this would be quite good for him if he trades his some of his Celtic bowmen for it. But like, trading 4 Celtic bowmen for 2 Syrian archers, that's quite expensive, I think. Look at these. The Syrian archers firing to the rear of Oathsworns, doing some damage to them as well. But yeah, as I said, I can see Duck's plan, but he's just gonna try and kite as much as possible. Let his Celtic bowmen do damage. But yeah, we have Levy Freeman up now for Panda, where he's gonna be sending them up to soak up damage and perhaps throw javelins into the Celtic bowmen, or rather the Oathsworns. That's what he would really like to throw javelins into. Now, of course, we have Panda moving up his sword component over here on this flank. Duck sees it and he's just gonna pull back. Panda has... basically, he is surrounding Duck at this point and he's gonna continue to follow him. But sooner or later, Duck's gonna have his own downhill advantage, even as the defender. Now, this Galatian sword is kind of out of position over here, so he's gonna use some Levy Freeman to perhaps throw jabs into it. Here come the jabs into the rear of Galatian swords, pretty effective, killing 3 of them. Now he's gonna pull the Levy Freeman to face the noble horse and then follow up with Celtic warriors. So Panda is gonna continue pulling away his Galatians, but these Celtic warriors might actually be able to get to the Galatians. And I suppose that Duck really wants to get rid of this Galatian sword unit. And look at Panda, he actually turns around. I think he turns around a little bit too early. And yeah, he's gonna be able to do quite a bit of damage to this one Celtic warrior. Galatian swords will do quite okay against a single Celtic warrior, but the 2 Celtic warriors and even a 3rd Celtic warrior coming in here is gonna be able to get massive kills on this Galatian sword, and should be able to rout it if Duck is quick enough. I mean, look, it's already in red morale, but it's taking so long to kill this one unit that Panda might actually be able to come in and support. Nice jabs by this Galatian swords, already 10 kills, and Duck's just barely killing off that one unit and getting out. So I suppose this is still not too bad for Duck. I think this is quite okay, because he got rid of one full Galatian sword unit without losing too much, I think. So that is an okay trade, but he's losing a Levy Freeman to a Galatian sword. So now the trade is becoming worse and worse for him. We have mercenary horse skirmishers, not sure what they're trying to do, charging into Celtic bowmen. They're not going to be able to do quite well. But the Oathsworn general of Duck actually wasted the javelin volley on the horse skirmisher unit. That wasn't too good. And the Celtic warriors here are going to be out of position, and I don't agree with what Duck's doing here, engaging this Galatian legionary with a sword follower and Celtic warriors. I feel like he should be going more. Like, he's already over here. Why doesn't he just pull back to this hill and then have a massive downhill charge instead? Whereas, okay, he still has kind of a downhill position, but I feel like it's not giving him I mean, I feel like it's not as good as it could be. And look at this shield wall activated for the Galatian legionaries, but I think it's really just messing them up more than helping them at this point. Just look at what they're doing. It's like they're actually trying to walk through and dying once they activate shield wall. So I think that it can do quite some odd things to your unit. We have some nice flanking shots from the Celtic bowmen into the Galatian swords, but look, Galatian swords crushing Celtic warriors here. Duck's still trying to pull back. He's gonna lose another Celtic bowman unit. And yeah, we have noble horse here in position for Panda warrior, and the game is starting to come to an end soon. Celtic warriors here not gonna get a charge off, so this is a mistake by Duck, not sending in the Celtic warriors to charge into the Galatian swords or Galatian legionaries or pulling back. But look at him, he's actually resting his units here. This is really good, and this Galatian sword will get destroyed. by jabs. Nice damage onto the Galatian sword. Some of Duck's units are coming back, but this is going to be massive here. Just look at this one noble horse coming around to flank. And it's going to go for a downhill charge. Let's see, 17 kills. How many kills is it going to get? Charging downhill at the last second into the sword follower. Lots of knockback, and he's going to continue going through. 21 kills at the moment. Didn't kill many sword followers, but lots of HP damage was done to that unit. And he's just gonna knock him back, run out, and be alright, and then follow up with Galatian legionaries into the unit that took damage. And you will see just how much of a difference it makes, that one cavalry charge into the noble horse. Even though the sword followers have slight downhill charge, you will see the difference in their current HP values. Look at the Galatian legionary. It's only lost 2 men. Look at the sword follower. Lost 20 men. And it's gonna get worse and worse for the sword follower. Now along the line we have Osworns crushing Galatian swords and Galatian legionaries, but we still have a Syrian archer supporting over here. And Galatian swords, 210 kills, lots of good jobs were done by them. Hell of a amount of kills. Sword followers here losing to Galatian legionaries, and these Galatians crushing these sword followers. Just look, it's not even close here. Again, another back charge into these sword followers, and another back charge into the Levy Freeman. Should rout the Levy Freeman here. Really nice cav maneuvers here by Panda Warrior. Again, on the other side, you can see Levy Freeman flanking and gonna get some nice jabs into this old Sworn. I feel they're not actually doing anything though. They're kind of like celebrating while facing the Osworns. It's like they're celebrating their own death. Not quite sure why you guys are celebrating, because the battle isn't won yet. Even though it looks good for you guys. I mean, certainly you shouldn't celebrate in front of an enemy Oathsworn, and now you're paying for it with your lives. So yeah, we have this Oathsworn getting fired upon. And Duck's gonna pull out this other Oathsworn here, but just look at him. His main line is kind of falling. Sword follower is actually gonna win against this one Galatian, but this Galatian over here crushing through the sword follower. Whoa, these shields are kind of molding into each other somehow. Syrian archers, 158 kills and still doing damage to the Oathsworn. Look at the massive amounts of arrow fire and slinger shot into the Oathsworn. Here is a mistake by Duck. Look at him. He's gonna look at this Oathsworn unit. He's charging this unit, but now he'll get surrounded by another Galatian legionary, and then he's gonna get charged by this Galatian sword. So really nice micro by Panda here. And look, noble horse gonna charge into the sword followers. Gonna be down to 51 men immediately. Knockback is done. Raised banner popped by Panda Warrior. He's gonna charge right into the backs of these sword followers. He's gonna get a Cappadocian cav through here. He's gonna be able to rout these two sword followers, and the game is looking really good for Panda Warrior at this point. And yeah, this Galatian legionary will lose to the Oathsworn for sure. Well, two Oathsworns, wow. I mean, oh, Miss Micro here by Panda with the Cappadocian cav. Did get some jabs into them, but at this point it doesn't really matter. So as the battle is over, I am going to just zoom in and allow you to enjoy the action. Look at the Oathsworns. Gonna be able to kill Galatian legionaries, no problem here, until the cavalry arrives and hits them in the back and crushes them. So, Galatia demolishes Boy on Armavir, again with the downhill advantage, but it was actually Duck who had kind of a downhill advantage this time around. He did get a good position, but again, his build was very risky, and it didn't pay off for him because of the sweet cavalry charges by Panda. Look at this side, and just really good work by Panda Warrior with his cavalry this game, and he shows how cavalry can still be utilized in Rome 2. To help out a lot in infantry engagements. So you can see now that the game is tied up 1-1. So go over the kills of the Boy. So we have the Boy with 2 Oathsworns getting 106 kills and 89 kills. Definitely not worth it. They got shot a lot, they got surrounded, and that was the end of them. And the sword followers, again, wasted because of cavalry charges that destroyed them, and then missiles and jabs, and just so many things went wrong for the sword followers that game. Again, Oathsworn with 118 kills. Well, it was alive by the end, so I guess it wasn't doing too badly. But still, Celtic Bowmen not really paying for themselves either. Levy Freeman, not really. Celtic Warriors, not really. So hard to say if any unit for Duck actually did well in this battle. I guess the one Oathsworn with 118 kills that was still alive by the end of the battle, but I mean, other than that, can't really say anything else about Duck's units. As for Panda Warrior, well, you can see he got a lot more kills overall and not as many losses. By far not as many losses. But look at his general. 129 kills and he's almost in perfect shape. Anyway, Cappadocian Cav didn't do so much, but they still helped a lot. The one mercenary horse skirmisher got some kills, but it was wasted into the bows. And then the two Syrian archers, one of them did massive damage to the Celtic bowmen and especially to the Oathsworn general. That was instrumental in this battle. And we have the Galatian legionaries again. Really good job by them in crushing through the sword followers. They did really well. Galatian swords, overall they did fine. Levy Freeman even did a nice job with their jabs, I suppose. So that is game 2. Now the match is tied 1-1, and we will have a tiebreaker between these two to see who gets to the final of this tournament. This is the final game between Duck and Panda Warrior on Singedan. So we do have a change of scenery finally, and we have Duck as Galatia, while Panda Warrior is playing as Colchis. Now that's a very odd choice by Panda Warrior to play as Colchis, as this tiebreaker faction. Perhaps he expected the match not to get the tiebreaker, or he has a special Colchis build, which we will see right now, and if it'll work or not. So here we have the builds. I'm actually gonna go over them. I can go over the Colchis build quite easily, I suppose. So he has 1 citizen cav, then he has 4 noble blood cav. Of course, he also has Colchian nobles general. He is a strategist general. Then he has 1, 2, 3, 4 Colchian nobles supporting, and last but not least, 5 axemen. So that is a strange build. You would think that as Colchis you would actually skirmish more, but he instead decided to go for sort of a rush build. So what I expect him to do is, I expect him to charge the axes and then follow up with citizen cavalry and noble blood cav. Actually, no, not charge the axes. Charge the cavalry in frontally into the Galatian legionaries, follow up with axemen, and then possibly with nobles, depending on where he needs to plug the gaps or assist with the Colchian nobles. I think that's how I would personally use this build, but we will see how Panda uses it. Since he brought this build, probably has more experience with it, unless he totally just went the YOLO route this game. We'll see if that is the case. But yeah, I'm gonna go over Duck's build. He has a noble horse general strategist, has light horse mercenary Cappadocian cav. I assume 2 of those. Indeed, he does have 2 Cappadocian cav. Has 3 Galatian raiders, really good skirmisher cav. They still have pretty decent melee stats for being skirmisher cav. And in terms of mainline infantry, let's see. I don't see a single spear unit for Duck. Actually, I do. I lied, I guess. There is a 1 Levy Freeman. Do we have a 2nd Levy Freeman? Nope, it's just 1 Levy Freeman, interestingly enough. And then for his sword line, we have, let's see, 3 Galatian swords on the left flank. I suppose the same on the right flank. Indeed. As for the center, he has 3, 4, 5, 6. No, make it 5 Galatian swords. Okay. Alright. 5 Galatian swords, 5 Galatian legionaries, and 6 Galatian swords. That is a deviation from you normally see, I suppose. 6 Galatian legionaries, but we will see if this pays off for Duck, and probably as he's up against Colchis. So this is I think that this is really what Duck was happy to see, like the build that Panda actually brought. But we'll see how it goes for Duck. Again, we have Panda Warrior moving up with his strange Colchis build. Colchian nobles, they won't do terribly bad against Galatian legionaries, but I think they still won't be trading efficiently against Galatian legionaries. So we'll see how that goes. This light horse over here won't really be able to do much, really. Like just some back charges into axemen probably is the most they can do, and then just die during back charging. I don't know. They might be able to use the charge in the rear penalty, I suppose. Like they could charge the rear to rout units when he sees that they're in red morale, I suppose. But other than that, I'm not sure how else you can use the light horse in this battle. Duck, that is. But yeah, I feel like Duck has the build advantage here. He has 11 infantry units compared to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, compared to the 10 of Panda Warriors. So he has 1 more infantry unit, and his infantry is actually more efficient than the infantry of Panda. And in fact, he has even more cavalry than Panda, and better cavalry as well. Well, actually, that is debatable because these are 4 Noble Blood Cav, and Noble Blood Cav is quite strong. Galatian Raiders, though, will be able to... might be able to change things, though. And yeah, skirmishing with the Galatian Raiders, this is something that Duck will be really happy about if he gets some shots into either the Cav or the Colchian Nobles. Firing into the Axemen, I guess this isn't really what he wants to do, because the Axemen will fall to Galatian Legionaries, whereas the Nobles will take quite a bit of a beating and will do quite decently against Galatian Legionaries. But we do have Panda moving up Noble Blood Cav. Not quite sure what the big idea is with this. I think he maybe wants to protect his cavalry from the Galatian raiders, which is why he's moving them around. Now you can see a lot of mirroring being done here by both players. And look at Duck actually moving up again. Yeah, I guess he doesn't really want to deal with this. I mean, he really doesn't want to fire into the forest frontally into Colchian nobles. But here's the thing: now that he has his Galatian raiders around, Panda will have to start peeling off units to deal with them out of his main line. So that leaves even fewer units to deal with. Even fewer or even less units. I'm not sure. I guess it's even fewer units. Not sure. Yeah, somebody who knows English grammar really well, assist me on that. Is it even fewer units or is it even less units? This is a dilemma that I have, so please assist me in that regard. So yeah, somebody who has fewer units, again correct me if I'm wrong. What did I say? Man, I'm getting lost. So yeah, somebody who has fewer units already in terms of infantry, he'll have even fewer when he like peels them off like this to deal with cavalry. So the main line will be so weak for Panda Warrior right now. Look at this, Galatian Raiders doing what they do best. This is not a good move by Panda to use his Noble Blood Cav to go for the Galatian Raiders. Here comes Duck though. He's gonna try and get a rear charge into the Noble Blood Cav, and he might actually get to the cavalry. He should pull out right now though. I don't think he needs to engage here. And this Galatian Raider is actually chasing the Noble Blood Cavalry. And we have Panda Warrior rearranging his main line. And Noble Blood Cav might actually reach the Galatian Raiders. Yeah, the Galatian Raiders get caught here. This is pretty bad for Duck, but I think it will be alright. We will see. Galatian Raiders doing some damage to Noble Blood Cav here. Again, they lost 15 men, these guys. Didn't lose anything actually, but 15 men in Noble Blood Cav, that's a huge deal, as Noble Blood Cav is quite expensive and strong melee cavalry, so he really needs it against the swords. So I wonder if now he's just going to charge up his cavalry into the... charge them into the swords of Galatia. We will see what he's gonna do with it, because I feel like that's what he has to do, and like very, very soon. And once he does it, charge in, pull out, and defend against the incoming rear charges of the Galatia's own cavalry. But we will see if he actually does that, because currently his cavalry isn't in position to do that. And look at this, Noble Blood Cav down to 43 more missiles hitting them. Here comes the cavalry for Panda Warrior, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and I think this is going to be really bad for the Colchian Nobles. They get hit by javelins, and this is a good move here by Duck. Look at it. Look at him. He's actually going to keep this Galatian Legionary in reserve, because he sees that Panda is charging into that one. So he charges with this one, but look, he has so many more units than Panda. So some jabs into the axes. No Blood Cav getting a charge here, but couldn't really stop the Galatian sword charge, I think. Have Cappadocian Cav going around. Galatian Legionaries also engaging the Colchian Nobles on this flank. And Galatian Legionaries, you can see that they're trading quite well against Colchian Nobles here, since they got jabs into them. And yeah, look at this one citizen cavalry unit by Panda Warrior. It's getting mismicroed. It's just going to die right now, especially after this Cappadocian Cav charge. Again, probably shouldn't have charged Cappadocian Cav frontally, but I guess he has a lot to micro. Ideally, he would have wanted to go around with the Cappadocian Cav and then charge it in the rear, would have killed it much easier. But this is how... Well, actually, this isn't exactly how you want to use Light Horse, because like he's gonna start losing the Light Horse right now. He only lost 4 doing that back charge. Very interesting. But yeah, the Noble Blood Cav, I guess he doesn't want to allow them to get out of here. They're in red morale already, so they might rout soon to Light Horse back charges. Light Horse really doing their job here, but just look at this. So inefficient. I mean, look at the Colchian Nobles. They're not really doing a lot of work for Panda right now. Yeah, he got a Noble Blood Cav around. He's gonna go for a rear charge. That's gonna help him a lot, but is it really gonna make him win the battle? I don't think so. With this Colchian Noble killing Galatian swords, yeah, it will do that. But look, here's another Galatian sword unit coming into the Colchian Noble. Even more Galatian swords coming in as well. This whole flank is about to fall for Panda. Look at this flank as well. It is going down. And Galatian Raiders back charging Colchian Nobles. This Colchian Noble, 24 kills and down to like 60 men already. That's like so few men. Panda, that is. And look at this one Colchian Noble. Again, quite strange choice to bring Colchis, and it doesn't really seem to be paying off for Panda. He's gonna start engaging this Colchian Noble, but look at how many swords Duck still has. And here come the Colchian Nobles. I mean, the Galatian swords. And more Levy Freeman jabs and a rear charge by Galatian Raiders into the Colchian Nobles. That one horse just fell after charging into the Colchian Noble. But look, the main line. Wow, I say look a lot. Colchian Nobles, yeah, they got some kills here, but they're gonna get surrounded and killed off just because of the sheer amount of units that Duck has in this game. These Axemen have gotten some kills, not what they wanted to get. And look at this other Colchian Noble again. I keep saying look in this battle. I seem to like repeating words in their commentaries recently. Not quite sure why. And that is basically game. So Duck wins 2-1 against Panda Warrior and advances into the final of the Team Dignitas Rome 2 Invitational, where he will be facing Balor of Agartha. Let's look at the unit statistics. Has Noble Horse General, 39 kills. I mean, didn't really need to do anything. Cappadocian Cav getting kills. Light Horse, excellent use of the Light Horse, by the way. Like 32 kills on a Light Horse. Wow. And not dead yet. And just it also helped in routing enemy units. Galatian Raiders, did okay-ish. Could have done better. Galatian swords did alright. Galatian legionaries stomped Colchian nobles, or at least rendered them ineffective. Levy freemen, lots of work done by them with the javelins and helping against cavalry. One Colchian noble got a lot of kills for Panda warrior, but really nothing here was cost effective for Panda warrior at all. Like, none of these units did what they were supposed to do, and he never got the frontal cav charges off into the swords. Like, that was the one hope for him, because otherwise, if he just tries to grind it out with Galatia, he's just going to lose, because that's not going to work for him, I feel. But yeah, that is game, and hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.